Howdy, Internet people. I would like to just talk a little bit today about a couple of Michael Mann flicks that I really like. I guess four to be precise. We'll start off by this wonderful Criterion release of Michael Mann's Thief, starring James Caan. It's, of course, just a fabulous sort of debut by Michael Mann. He, of course, has made his living off of depicting, professional criminals and their counterparts, the boys in blue, going after them. And he's done so to remarkable effect, starting off with this wonderful film scored by Tangerine Dream, and just featuring a terrific cast with James Caan, Tuesday Weld, Robert Brodsky, and I believe Jim Belushi's in here, as well as Willie Nelson. And it's just a terrific film. It absolutely holds up. It's incredibly atmospheric, beautifully shot, and James Caan gives it a fabulous performance. This is probably my favorite Michael Mann film, tied with Heat. I love this flick, and Criterion has done a great job with the transfer and the release. There's some cool special features on there as well. Then we've got Scream Factory's release of Manhunter, a 1986 film, I believe. It's based on the the source material, I believe Red Dragon. And it's, of course, a Hannibal Lecter story. Among other things, I believe the killer in this is the Tooth Fairy. But it was remade, of course, with Anthony Hopkins, I believe in the early aughts, by Brett Ratner, who was not a very inspired director's choice. I think that was one of the problems with that film. But in any case, Manhunter is a good film and stars a terrific Tom Noonan playing the killer. And this guy here, goodness, he's in all the CSI movies, or TV shows rather. William Peterson does a great job. It's Joan Allen is in it. She's wonderful. Dennis Farina, and even Stephen Lang, interesting, from Avatar fame. But it's just a wonderful, very atmospheric. Again, that's the theme with Michael Mann. He's incredibly atmospheric with his movies. He just lenses beautiful images and combines them with excellent sound design, and generally speaking, has a very interesting story to tell. So I would absolutely recommend this flick. And this is not a top shelf transfer by Scream Factory, but it's certainly a good one. And at this point, it's the best the film is going to be in absence of a brand new transfer. Then, of course, we have Heat, which, again, this is tied for first in my book from Michael Mann's body of work. I think it's just, pretty much a perfect crime caper film noir set in LA, and just does a terrific job at setting the atmosphere, the mood, and putting these pieces in motion and watching these very interesting characters. It's a movie that absolutely requires multiple viewings. So I remember when I first saw it, it was a little complicated. I had a hard time keeping track of all the players, but once you do get it, it just fits. Everything syncs up, and it's just a wonderful film. Al Pacino gets a lot of flack, perhaps, for playing a little over the top in this film, as he's done in other roles, but I like his depiction. There was supposedly a scene that was filmed where they showed him doing a line of coke, and they cut that out of the film, but Al always says that the reason he acted so hyperkinetic and sort of over the top was that his character had a little bit of a coke habit, which is interesting. But just a terrific flick. And then I'll just say here, honorable mention, Collateral, starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. This movie, the one thing that I've noticed as it's aged is that the music is a little dated. Now, I know others have said the same about Manhunter, but I actually really like the score for Manhunter. But with this film, there's a little bit too much of I don't know if it's Creed or there's some group from the early aughts that's in there that's just, it's just not aging well. But in terms of the visuals, he did a digital camera on this one, and it looks great. It's there's some fantastic scenes in it, and Jamie Foxx that gives a great performance opposite Tom Cruise, as does Javier Bardem in a smaller part. So with that, I just say Michael Mann is definitely a director you should check out, and these 4 films here are absolutely worth a watch, with the first 3 I discussed being his sort of trifecta, in my opinion. One other honorable mention is Last of the Mohicans, which I really like as well, but I've not found a good transfer yet on physical media to warrant the purchase. Everything I've seen to date has just not looked good. I remember seeing it in theaters and being very impressed, but sadly there just isn't any physical copy out there that's made me want to buy it. They all look pretty bad. So on that note, please take care everyone until the next time.